What up, everybody? Sanab here. Want to give you my thoughts on the Mayweather Cotto fight and how I think it went down. You know what I mean? Shout outs to everybody that came to my house party, supported me, friends, co-workers, family, wife. You know what I mean? Everybody else's little badass kids that came by and destroyed my house. I want to thank all y'all. But anyway, my thoughts on the fight. Cotto, like Freddie Roach said, damaged goods. Margarito, he hit him with them cinder blocks, and that definitely effed up his boxing instincts, that he used to have. They used to be a lot more precise prior to that fight. You can see it in the Clottey fight, the Yuri Foreman fight. Cotto he hasn't been the same box. Like, he actually had speed. Back when he fought Mosley and Zab Judah, he had to adapt to those speed type boxers, and it's something he just couldn't do after that Margarito fight. It's like you got those boxers that are punch drunk. The Meldrick Taylors, the James Tonys, the guys just, the Muhammad Ali. They just take so many hits that they're done. Well, Miguel Cotto was like he was pretty much halfway there after that Margarito fight, and I'm not covering for Cotto. Because that just goes to show you how good of a boxer he is, to take a beating the way he did with all that plaster and that sheetrock that Margarito had in his gloves. But like I said, Cotto's going to be the next Mosley. He's going to be that real good boxer that's just going to keep taking L's right now for up and coming boxers later on in the future. But that was Cotto's moment of truth. He couldn't make it happen. Couldn't pull through. Definitely upset with his corner. His corner, didn't even give him his full minute, when it was time to rest. They not only that, they didn't even proceed to tell him to start using that jab a lot more often. His jab was just it didn't even exist, and when it did, for that little short moment of time, it was actually effective, because you can't hit Mayweather with a power shot, but you can catch him with the jab, and he was catching him with the jab, but he was just too hungry for the knockout blow, and that's why Pacquiao knocked his rear out, because he just gets too hungry for that KO. So and that's what happens to knockout artists. Knockout artists get knocked out. It's plain as simple as that. You want to go in for the kill, be prepared to take a few, and eventually you're gonna take a few and you're gonna eat them, but eventually you're gonna catch one that's going to rock you. Reminiscence of Pacquiao when he stuck him in the third round, fourth round. Once again, Cotto was using that jab in the first round, and if y'all go back to that fight, y'all will see what I'm talking about. If Miguel Cotto would have kept using that jab, he was getting Pacquiao in that first round. He was looking good, dancing around, jab, step in, step out. Quit trying to go blow for blow with everybody. That's my thoughts on Cotto. Mayweather, Mayweather got some D. Mayweather has great D. I give it to him. You know what I mean? And Roy Jones said it best. Ain't nothing more dangerous than a scared fighter. You know what I mean? And Floyd is just too scared to lose, and that's why he won't lose. He's so smart. He can adapt to anybody. And he even said it. Cotto is very orthodox. He's a very orthodox boxer, and Cotto was still punishing his body. But you can get a few knockouts by going to the body on some fighters, but it's not going to work every fight. You know what I mean? Sometimes Floyd, as you can see, doesn't have a high knockout ratio. He's like 43-26. He'll fight you for 12 rounds and doesn't mind getting the split or unanimous decision. Especially if he's the cash cow. More than likely, if it's a close fight, it's going to get called his way. So you either have to really outbox him by using your jab, being able to have a jab. And Cotto had a jab, but like I said, his corner failed him. They didn't tell him to use it. He was just too hungry for that knock, for that KO. And that's what happened. That's how Mayweather is. Mayweather adapts to the fighter that he fights, And I told everybody, Cotto's not going to win this fight, but I will guarantee you this. This is going to be Floyd Mayweather's toughest fight of all of his previous BS fights that I've seen with Oscar De La Hoya, who was on his way out, Ricky Hatton, who was way overhyped. No disrespect to white people out there, but he was England and London's. He was their golden boy. So that's why he was so hyped up. And it's like what's this guy named, the coach, the actual manager, Emmanuel Stewart said it best. He said he hasn't been impressed with the Floyd Mayweather fight since the Diego Corrales fight. And that was funny that he said that because he's a boxing expert, and I've been preaching that for years. They tell me, oh, he beat Marquez, he beat Ricky Hatton, he beat, what? Manny Pacquiao came in and destroyed these guys too, and knocked them out in less than 6 rounds. Did even a better job. And Cotto would go in. If Cotto was to fight these guys, same thing would happen. He would knock these same dudes out. These guys are hype. These De La Hoyas that was on the way out. Floyd Mayweather fought Mosley when he was already old and on his way out. And Mosley's fighting Canelo. Like I said, he's on his way out. Look at this 20-year-old that just kicked his rear. So, like, Mosley needs to retire. All these guys that want to beat the big shot, they want to beat Floyd, they're just helping him, BS his wins, bullshit his wins, in layman's terms, because he's not really fighting anybody with any true, credibility, such as the Manny Pacquiao's. I wanted him to fight Cotto prior to Cotto fighting Margarito. I don't know why Cotto would fight somebody with, when he was undefeated, with somebody with 5 losses. Margarito was never even worth his time, and this guy who was never a legitimate contender that you decided to take just for a stepping stone decided to cheat and ruined your career, And Floyd Mayweather, you got to give it to him. He knows how to win. The Victor Ortiz fight, I don't agree with it. He knocked out Victor Ortiz, and I truly agree with him as far as protect yourself at all times. I do, but like Harold Letterman said, or whoever that guy, the dude he argued with after the interview, told him, he was like, it is protect yourself at all times, but I don't remember any of the true greats ever having a win this way. It was a corny way to go out. The dude sitting there hugging you with his hands down, and like Cotto said, Victor Ortiz's inexperience, was his demise. And, you should have just apologized. If you going you kissed him. Victor Ortiz, you kissed him. So, just that alone, you kissed him, that's it. Get ready to fight. If it was me, I'd be like, yeah, I headbutted you. Let's go. Let's do it. That's what I would have done. I'd have been like, you know what, we'll get over it. We'll hug and kiss after the fight is over. If you win, you win. If you get me back, you get me back. But I need to put my hands up. You should never put your hands down on somebody like Floyd, knowing his mentality and how swaggerific he is. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts on Mayweather and Cotto, and I'm going to wrap this up. Just believe that, Canelo Alvarez is definitely a very promising prospect, and his Mexican people have a lot to look forward to with him. He's definitely the highest prospect out there right now. Puerto Ricans, they're pretty much down on Cotto right now. So if you keep up with boxing like me, I'm Puerto Rican. You got Danny Swift Garcia. I don't believe he's as impressive as Canelo Alvarez. I am Puerto Rican, but I ain't stupidly, ignorantly biased. So I know talent when I see it, and I will call a spade